Second that.
All those in support of the motion for
Aye.
the non-public session on Wednesday, June 15th?
15th.
Say aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain, I wasn't here.
I just received this morning the non-public minutes of July 20, so I have to review it. So next time I will
Okay.
go through that.
Okay. Is Jason? Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, we're now pretty close to 8 months since we've seen any non-public minutes returned to the public. It seems to me that there must be at least one case that had been adjudicated in 6 months, and we should be getting something back sometime.
Point well taken.
It will be soon.
Any further comment? Jason? Go ahead. Good morning.
The population this morning, 48 in-house, 2 weekenders, 10 transfers, 2 electronic monitoring, 19 on pretrial release, total population of 81. Took in 26 inmates last week, 8 were repeaters, and 24 were released. Repeater charges, 1 came in for a violation of probation, booked 2 times in 2 years. 1 for electronic bench warrant, booked 2 times in 2 years. 1 for operating without a valid SR-22, booked 6 times in 8 years. 1 for operating after suspension, booked 2 times in 2 years. 1 for a controlled drug act, booked 2 times this year. 1 for open container and protective custody, booked 11 times in 7 years. 1 for a DWI second, habitual offender, disobeying a police officer in protective custody, booked 2 times in 2 years. 1 for protective custody, booked 3 times in 5 years. 1 for unlawful possession of alcohol in a 72-hour probation hold, booked 5 times in 2 years. And 1 for burglary, receiving stolen property, booked 6 times in 8 years.
Jason, what's an SR-22?
I believe it's a type of insurance that you have for when you're convicted of DWI and you don't have insurance. So I think it's a state mandated type of insurance policy. Could be wrong on that, but I can check for you.
Okay.
I believe that's what it is.
Check on that. First I've ever heard that.
Yeah,
SR-22.
it's actually the first time I've ever seen somebody booked in for it. Had to send an inmate out to the hospital 2 times over the last week. Inmate was cleared and returned to the facility. Have a vendor coming in tomorrow to look at the security system for a maintenance contract. Had 1 vendor in last week. Haven't got prices back from them yet.
Okay.
In regards to the installation of the transformer, I sent an email to Secure Controls on July 12th. They have yet to respond. Followed up with them again to find out when they're going to install that. So if I don't hear back from them, I'll call them.
Okay.
Took a sentenced inmate in on administrative transfer from Belknap County due to a staffing conflict. And last week I had 4 computers go down. They were all hard drive related issues. Cybertron is working on them. He has 3 repaired and 1 still out. So
Okay.
that's what's going on.
The contract with Strogans, do you recall what the time limit was? Was it 2 years?
We were going to go with a 1 year, sir.
1 year.
Because we were gonna look for next year to have a complex wide
Okay.
contract.
Okay. Right. So this is a contract with Strogans for the jail, and as Jason has said, we're looking at a 1 year contract so that next year they do our furnace here And also in the nursing home?
They've taken care of the nursing home today. yes.
So next year we'll look for a contract for the whole complex.
Mhm.
So if it's okay with the other commissioners, I'll sign this for a one-year contract for $2,950.
So why again are we not doing it this year?
Excuse me?
Why are we not doing it this year
Because the
together?
other contracts run out next year,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Thank you.
Anybody got any questions of Jason from the public? Are you involved, or any of your people involved in the field day this weekend?
I don't believe so, sir, no. Will hasn't asked me for any
Okay.
assistance.
Okay.
Even cleanup?
Yeah, he didn't ask. I haven't heard from him as far as cleaning up, and we sent somebody out, but yeah, he hasn't. I don't know as if he used anybody last year.
Really?
Maybe he did.
Cleanup.
Did he? Okay.
I
I
would
would think so.
ask him if he needs somebody to clean up,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if there's no other questions, thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
Sandy is here, okay. Uh-oh, when both of them come at the same time, and they're not sitting next to each other,
Oops.
there's something going on here.
I think it has to do with the microphones.
Oh, it's a microphone, so everybody can hear them?
Yes.
Okay,
Let's think about positives.
okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cindy.
At the nursing home this morning, we have 101 residents, 77 Medicare, 28 private pay, 66 Medicaid. We had 1 death, 1 admission pending, and we're working on the 2nd admission. We had been waiting on our Time Warner contract, working on clarity and as well as the terms. Basically, this is just for our cable TV, and the county attorney assisted us in working with Time Warner as far as the contract. We have clarity on the contract, but yet we're seeing an increase of $378 approximately per month. Most counties, or all counties, charge residents not for the coverage of the full contract or the full monthly bill, but they do charge the residents for TV in their room. So moving forward, and when Paula gets back, we'll be sending out a letter and talking with residents and families regarding an increase or a charge for their TV. They do have the option of watching television in their households.
Right.
Or the multi-purpose room, so, it's not that they would go without,
Right.
but we would be charging them.
So, let me get this straight. Are we charging now?
No, we're not.
We're not. Okay.
The private nursing homes do charge, and
They
have
do.
always charged.
Well, and I just wanted to make sure that I was comparing like to like, and obviously, I found that they are charging for the, in the county homes as well, so.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, can I
Yeah.
ask a question?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so if a resident don't choose to take the cable, so can they go to like another room, like the living room or somewhere to
Oh.
watch TV?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And it's right outside their room,
Yeah.
so I don't think that they're actually, doing without, but yet it is a nicety to have your television in your room.
If that's the case, and the cost of the contract has gone up to cover each of the rooms, and somebody chooses not to pay, then it's cut off from their room. Do we not pay for that cost in the contract?
We are charged as a hotel. So the hotel
Regardless of-
industry is there's a rate for all of the rooms and not picking and choosing, and that's how that is done.
So even if you use like only 25 units, you have to pay like for 103?
That's right. That's right. We currently have around 80 residents utilizing televisions of some sort.
And do they have, because our residents are presently 2 in a room, do they have multiple TVs?
Yes, they do. Yes,
So
they do.
they're using headphones or something too?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so that is covered. So the terms of the contract, it's a 3-year term, and the rate is, per month is $1,030.96. And there is a $100 setup fee.
We have a question for me. Gally?
Yes, Mr. Albee?
So currently, we're utilizing, 80 residents are having cable television,
Correct.
and we're increasing that to 103.
Mhm.
So it's a 23 hookup increase.
Mhm.
And I wonder if the commissioners could use that for a bully pulpit. They've just added 23 hookups here at the county, which would be the equivalent of 23 houses out there in the community. And there's a stretch of road over here on 171 that is still without internet access for their children. And their reasoning for not extending that cable is that the population base doesn't warrant it. But we've just added the equivalent of 23 households to their population base. So from my perspective, I think the time warner should be at least approached with the idea of doing a public service, but adding the line out through there for those people.
They've added it to our bill. We've had the availability, right along, but they've currently added it to our charges.
And does that include internet access as well?
No, internet's another, we have a cable, and that's another story.
Let me get this straight now. We have 80 residents that are using it, and they're going to charge us for an additional 23 that are not using it?
No, we have a variability depending upon who is admitted.
Correct.
And who wants to have television.
Yeah.
But they all have access to television.
So we're paying
in
for
their
the
rooms.
access?
So basically, what we were told as moving forward is that the way in which the cable television will be looked as though we are a hotel, we are a business.
Mhm.
We have 103 residents, we have 8 households, and we have 1 multi-purpose room, which is a total of 112. And so
Mhm.
therefore, we will be charged for the access points of those various areas. And, Attorney Dewhurst worked with Time Warner and explained that, could we be paid for the rooms that are using, be very happy to pay for the accurate usage, but not for
Mhm.
all. And he worked for a long time on this and really and did a wonderful job as far as delineating our usage, but it was difficult at best.
I think I can see from Time Warner's perspective, why that would be so.
Mhm.
I mean, given that we have turnovers,
Mhm.
and they would have to be constantly checking their billing.
And I was also made aware that there was a turnover as far as either management or ownership of Time Warner from the time that the first contract or the old contract was initiated in this contract as well. Because, my point was that we have a number of year contract, and basically, why now? What has changed?
So they're not honoring the present contract?
Not after the move, they are not. It's changed because they feel as though we have been the terms of the old contract
Yeah.
was
I
vague.
can almost remember talking with them and they saying that there wouldn't be a change. We'd have to pay for the change because of moving to a new facility,
Mhm.
for the cabling and so forth, but there wouldn't be any additional charge.
Right.
So they're not honoring that contract.
The contract will be null and void when we move into the new home.
Huh, okay. Yes, Mr. Babson?
Sandy, you said a $100 surcharge. Is that a $100 surcharge per room?
No, just
Per access point, or?
just doing the work, just coming in and doing the work. It's a one-time fee.